Welcome to the Discover Workday at UChicago tutorial on the 7 core concepts of Workday. Mastering the 7 core concepts is a key component in understanding your role and processes within Workday. The 7 core concepts are made up of organizations, roles, business processes, position management, employee types, job details, and academic appointments. The first core concept is supervisory organizations, which are a foundation of Workday. Supervisory organizations are where positions are created and employees are hired. Organizational roles and business processes can be designated by supervisory organizations. Essentially, supervisory organizations are grouped into a management hierarchy. Here we see an example of a management hierarchy, or org chart within Workday. It is important to note that in Workday, the manager sits above the employees they manage. Additionally, keep in mind that you will only have access to supervisory organizations that you support in Workday, as well as their subordinates. You will see very limited employee information for individuals sitting in supervisory organizations above or outside of your access. Concept number 2 are roles within Workday. Your role in Workday determines what you can see and what you can do within the system. Your role ensures you have access to appropriate data and tasks that are relevant to your job. In this example, we see that when a regular employee accesses Workday, their view is limited. They are only able to view and modify information about themselves. Here we see an individual with an additional role in Workday, and therefore has access to more worklets and their associated tasks within the system. Concept number 3 is business processes in Workday. Business processes, also known as a workflow, are a set of tasks that are initiated, acted upon, and completed within the system. Security roles determine who can initiate specific business processes and what tasks they will be responsible for. Here we see an example business process, request compensation change. For this particular process, the HR partner is the initiator and the approver is the budget partner. Two types of rules sit on business processes, the first of which is conditional rules. These determine which steps of a business process are required and which will be skipped based on a variety of criteria, including employee type, supervisory organization, and the reason the process is being initiated. For example, during the hire process, a student position does not need to be approved by a budget partner. The second kind of rule is a validation rule, which is a hard red warning that will prevent you from moving forward until the process is revised. These errors are most often a result of missing information that is required by UChicago or mismatched information. The fourth core concept of Workday is position management. What this means is that in order to hire a new employee, add an additional job to an existing employee, or promote an existing employee, you have to have an open, unfilled position or an empty chair in your supervisory organization. There are some specific aspects that can be placed on the position or chair prior to identifying the candidate who will ultimately fill it. These can include employee type, time type, and default compensation. These specifics can be modified later on once a candidate has been identified. This is a 1-to-1 ratio in Workday. One worker sits in one chair, with the exception of a new feature called job overlap. For example, when someone is retiring and there is advance notice of their leaving, they may be staying on to assist their replacement in training. In Workday, this is called job overlap. In job overlap, two individuals can occupy the same chair for a temporary time period. The fifth core concept of Workday is employee types. The two main types of workers are employees and contingent workers. The employee worker types cover faculty, academic, staff, postdoc, students, temps, and seasonal workers. The second worker type, contingent workers, are unique in that they are not paid through Workday payroll. At UChicago, most contingent workers are members of affiliated organizations. A contingent worker can have many of the same attributes as employees, but they are not paid through Workday payroll. Common examples of contingent workers at UChicago include academic affiliates at North Shore, Argonne, international staff paid by host companies, and medical center employees. In any case where you are executing transactions or reporting on compensation within Workday, You are working with employees, the worker type that is paid through Workday payroll. The sixth core concept of Workday is job details. When you have an open position or empty chair and fill it with a worker, you have created a job in Workday. As mentioned earlier, default attributes that were originally placed on a position can be changed when filling that position with a worker. For example, if the individual negotiated more compensation than was originally set as the default. Here we see the job details listed within Workday. This information can include business title, time type, and location. The seventh and final core concept of Workday is the academic appointment. The academic appointment is used to track the faculty member's time at the university in regards to track, rank, and tenure status. This is separate, but likely in parallel, to the job in Workday. An academic appointment does not hold any compensation. It is purely used for tracking of this academic information. Compensation details are within the job. Now, let's briefly review the 7 core concepts and how they work together to provide a basic understanding of the Workday system. Supervisory organizations, which are grouped as a management hierarchy or org chart, are the foundation of Workday. Within supervisory organizations, there are positions, or chairs, where each worker must sit. The workers who sit in these chairs fall into two main worker types, employees and contingent workers. Only employees are paid through Workday payroll. Once an individual has been identified to occupy a position, the combination of the worker and position creates a job. At the time of the hire, job details such as compensation, location, or time type can be modified. Separate, but often parallel to the job, is an academic appointment. This is where academic information for faculty members is tracked within the system. Finally, we have roles and business processes. Security roles determine what you can see and what you can do in all of Workday. And business processes are the workflows that determine what steps need to happen in order to complete a transaction in Workday, like creating a position, hiring a new employee, changing compensation, etc. Thank you for viewing the 7 core concepts of Workday. For more resources on discovering Workday at UChicago, please visit workday.uchicago.edu.